The name is Brandon Groce. And we are the Game Changers. Designers, creatives alike. We are in a world that runs on value. Our next designs will be the shiniest. Our next animation will be the most buttery. Ladies and gentlemen, Game Changers, let the games begin.
What is going on, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Groce, and we are here for the first very ever editorX Live with me, your host, and we have some amazing 2 weeks ahead of us. And today, we are going to really have a welcome day in really regards to what is it that we're doing. Actually, I'm in my ear. Hold on one second, guys. All right, this is what I'll do, guys. I will be right back. I'm super excited, but for some reason, I audioed and made myself hear myself. So give me a second. Also, please let me know in the chat if you guys hear two of me. I tried to make sure that didn't happen, but give me 2 minutes. Be right back. Thank you. All right, sorry about that, guys. I just needed to make sure. Kimberly, thank you so much. There's only one of me. Beautiful. I'm just going to take out the earpiece because I was just trying to jam with my music, and we don't need that. I have you guys. First off, I want to say thank you guys for joining so very much. I'm excited to have these next 2 weeks with you, and for today, show you guys how the challenges work. What is editorX, first of all, and really how to make some amazing responsive websites with literally no code in the way that we designers love to do. So with that said, if you guys haven't liked the video and subscribed already, please do so. And I would love to know where you guys are coming from, how you guys heard of the challenges. Let me know about that in the chat. And whilst you do that, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about editorX, how you can start for free and join us in these next 2 weeks of challenges and actually give you guys a little bit of a quick taste of the cool things that we're going to make this week and how you can join us. So with that said, let me share my screen. And first off, thank you guys for the patience. I was so ready to go. I was jamming before the live stream, and then I started hearing two Brandons, and nobody likes to hear themselves twice. So, with that said, like I said, you guys can go to editorx.com. There are 2 links down in the description where you can join us and sign up, in which you really would like to do to join us in creating some of the cool things that we're making in the next 2 weeks. editorx.com, start now. Simple as signing up and joining us. And now everything today that we're going over is what the challenge is, how to submit basically your websites and the fundamentals of editorX. So with that said, first thing you want to do is definitely make an account. And from there, let's talk a little bit about our amazing Discord community where you guys will get all of the upcoming announcements of what we're doing day to day when it comes to the challenges and how to submit your work and meet awesome creative people like yourselves to get feedback and also to partake in some of the cool things that the editorX team is going to be doing in the Discord. So with that said, let's pop over into Discord very quick. Also, this is going to be the second link down in the description of this video. You guys want to join. And also, there might be a couple of you guys who are already in the Discord and probably see a blank Discord. Okay, the Discord is 5 days old, and a lot of people that we see in the Discord have not agreed to the terms of service. You guys will have a get verified or a welcome channel in the Discord. You want to make sure follow the directions and hit agree so that you can see all of our beautiful faces and join in the challenges that we have. Awesome. Glad to see you, Lorraine. May, we have Julius, we have Afram, we have Dimma. Glad to see you. Arif, I'm glad you guys are here. First off, I would love to know. Hey, what's going on, Ruben? Good to see you, my friend. I would love to know, how did you guys hear the challenge? Was it purely through Instagram? Also, let us know through what channels you guys came through so we know. So how this is going to work, the weekly challenges. In our Discord, there is a section called Weekly Challenges, and very simply, we have given you in every month that we do this, we'll be giving to you guys when the dates of the challenge are. So for example, these next 2 weeks, we're going from today, February 28th to March 11th. The first day is our welcome day. We give you the stream and we let you guys know what and how the challenges work. So for the next 2 weeks, if you haven't already, and you just stumbled upon here because you have notifications on for your boy, first off, thank you. But you can subscribe to the next 2 weeks of challenges here in Luma. I'll click on that for a second and explain that to you. But each day, how this works is we will meet here, same time, same place at 1 p.m. EST to go over a new editorX challenge in which you will work alongside with me and be able to ask questions. I give you guys files in which you guys can download all the assets, and each video there are starter files in the description that you can download and work alongside with me as we build these responsive websites each and every day. And on top of that, obviously you want to join our Discord, but each submission that you are going to hopefully make and submit in challenges, you will not only get feedback at the end of each one of these live streams, but the winner, we'll always pick one amazing winner at the end of the 2 weeks, and you guys get some pretty hot prizes. The other prizes are kind of behind. We're letting that up. We're not trying to let you guys know what those are, but for this first round of challenges, you guys get an editorX swag pack with some amazing Brandon editorX merchandise, from a hoodie, socks, water bottle, stickers, the goods. So with that said, every day you guys will be able to be notified in our weekly challenges of, for example, today. Here's the link, boom. And we also send you guys the rest of the curriculum, or what it is that we're going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. So this week or tomorrow today is our welcome day. We're getting started with editorX fundamentals and giving you guys all the skill sets needed to produce some of the really cool things that we're going to do. And I'm going to show you a little bit of right now, because I know you guys are like, Brandon, you've been talking, but what are we doing? So with that said, I gave you guys a little bit of a quick starter guide to our Discord. First off, join it. Second off, say hello. And let's talk about what we're doing in our editorX. So while I let my mouth dry out a little bit, I haven't had enough water today, I'm going to check into the chat really quick. Lorraine said Facebook. Sweet. Kimberly said Facebook. Edu, what is going on, my friend? Julius says watching from the Philippines. Very nice. Lorraine is New York. Awesome. I love this. We're very global. We're very global. So to give you guys, whet your palate a little bit, we are going to be working on, we're going to work up to this. We're giving you guys fundamentals, then we're working up to some of the more complex designs. For example, we're going to be working on this Nike website from desktop to mobile. We have a Tesla website. These, again, more complex, all the way from desktop to mobile. And guys, these websites did not take me that much time either. So like from designer to designer, from somebody who might have the perception of, oh, these are, this is a website, this is not, it's going to take days. Guys, I did this like in under an hour, these websites. And also, I love video games. Let me know if you guys are video game lovers in the chat. You have found your home. So we have quite a few things starting tomorrow, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of an overview on how to start out, what are the tools in editorX, and really how to get down in the nitty gritty and just show you guys this stuff isn't complicated, especially if I can do it, Lord have mercy, everybody else can do it. So let's dive in. Hey, what's going on, Brian? Maria, what is up? Glad that everybody in Facebook is in here. Okay, so I'm imagining you guys have signed up for editorX by now, hopefully, or already have it. And we're just going to go through creating a new site There's amazing things, like even if you don't want to make a full custom website, they have amazing templates to start off with. Or what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a little bit of the templates, but also go through some of the fundamentals and go through a mini challenge with you guys, just to show you guys how quick and easy some of this stuff is. So with this, if you can fill this out if you would like. This kind of helps you figure out what type of template you would like to use in editorX, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip. Come on, index finger, let's go. We hit the skip button. There we go. All right, it's because I have like 12. Actually, let me close some of these because that video I know in the background is probably killing my processor. All right. So we have a blank canvas. We have a ton of other templates that we have to use, and I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if I open one of these up, they're beautiful. So again, I'm a gaming nerd, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'm just going to go edit. And if you really wanted to, you can just pick a template and just put your own assets, your own copy, your own fonts, but the hierarchy and the structure of these sites are just absolutely beautiful. You can just hit the ground running with editorX. And you know, this is just starting out. Like if you guys are designers and you're trying to step into editorX, you know, it's fully responsive. I can push and pull it. We can preview the site, but essentially, just like I said, all of these things are building blocks. I can go in, I can change the text if I wanted to. Because my company's name is ASDF, I can change everything here. The photos, everything, and we'll go into detail of how to do all that stuff, but I just want you guys to know all of the things that we're going down into in terms of fundamentals. Once you learn the fundamentals and how editorX works, which we'll be going over today to set you guys up for the rest of the week, working in this fashion where everything is kind of set up and you just have to tweak, you can build things in literally less than in 30 minutes. So with that said, let's kind of, you know, if you guys want to check out the tutorials, that's not really why we're here. I want to show you guys the fundamentals and dive into that so you guys can take advantage of the tutorials, or excuse me, the templates rather. But let's jump into a blank slate. Let's show you guys some of the tools. Let's show you what we have at our disposal, because all those fundamental blocks will allow us to make using the templates just that much easier. We're not here for templates. We're designers. We're here for custom stuff. So let's do it. So I'm going to go back to the starter here. I'm just going to click on my blank slate. I'm going to close my game tab here and this. And I also want, you know what? This is why I heard myself twice. Guys, I found the problem. Hello, Brandon. It wasn't a technical problem. I just, you know, I want to see my beautiful face sometimes, you know? Is that free coach, Brandon? What free coach? And what's going on, Julius? Ruben says editorX would be perfect for designers to build their own portfolios. There is no excuse now. Yes, and they have beautiful portfolio templates that will take you just seconds to maneuver through. Put your face in, put your name, all of the details about your work. Easy. All right, so let's let it pull together our blank canvas, and we're going to go through hierarchy. We're going to talk about sections, containers. We're going to talk a little bit about stacks, grids, animations, all of the basic things that you'll be able to utilize on, if you just take those couple of things and stack them together, not really stack them like in editorX terms, but if you stack those skills together, you can make some really complicated and amazing things. I'm all about fundamentals, if you guys know me. So with that said, every time you guys open up a blank, you guys will start out with a header, a footer, and just a blank section. So what I want to just talk about really the layout of editorX, what is where, because I know as designers, or at least for me, when I came over into this from, you know, my favorite XD, for example, this was very close to what I understood from my design programs. And so I'm just going to get us a little bit of oriented in what's what, and then we'll start diving into hierarchy and all those other things I mentioned to you all. By the way, I will talk a little bit fast today because I'm trying to keep this. We got 15 minutes left. And of course, I want you guys, if you have questions or you want me to go over something just before we close out, I want you guys to ask in the chat so I can cover those things and also prepare you for tomorrow. So we might do a little bit 5 minutes over. But with that said, let's talk about our layers panel and all these things that you see here, these side panels. So let's start off with layers. Just like you guys as designers, you're familiar with the layers panel. We have our header, we have our section, and our footer. And of course, just like folders, we can open up these elements and we see what's inside them. So I have a hamburger menu. It's hidden because I only want that to show up, or on default, it typically only shows up when we get to mobile. And you guys will see more of that as we get into tomorrow's challenge, and we'll dive into that in particular. But I'm just gonna go ahead and don't display here. We have our menu, as you guys can see here, and we have our vector art, which is basically our logo over here as an SVG. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys what I like. We're going to go through certain things that I want to talk about that are relevant to what we're doing for the rest of the week. But if you guys have certain, hey Brandon, what's this? Hey Brandon, what's that? Let me know so I can touch on those things rather than the things I got planned. Especially because I think some of you guys are already from the Facebook group. So let's talk about it. All right, so what I like is everything is, I can, for example, this logo, if I want to change the vector art, I just have to click on that, and I get all of my settings from the selected asset that I have. So for example, I'll talk about this in terms of images as well, but we'll start with the vector art. I can change what this is. I don't have another logo up on here just yet, but if I wanted to change this just to Happy Mother's Day, I don't know what day that is, but let's just let's just say it's today. I love the fact that I can just change assets right from the asset that I have clicked. Now I'm gonna offset this a little bit. I'm just gonna push that up. I want to talk and move over to this inspector. So the first two things that I think are really important about learning about editorX is, one, layers. That's something that's familiar to us as designers. And two is the inspector panel, which is basically all of the things that you usually see on the right-hand side of things like Sketch, Adobe XD, Figma, those things. So for example, I'm going to close my layers very quickly so you guys can see the mishap that I have over here. Of course, I love the fact that I can drag this in here. I don't have to mess with numbers. But if I really wanted this in the center of my header, I have all of my alignment tools here. I can align it center. I can align the whole thing to the center of the header, or I can left align it here and give it some space over here as well. So that's honestly one of the favorite things that I like in editorX. I don't have to use numbers to move things as I am thinking as a designer. I just want to drag, drop, and make sure that everything from a design perspective is working. I don't want to do 1 + 500 quarter pixels. No, that's not what we're doing. So alignment tools, we're good. We have our docking system here to make sure that if you guys saw this line, that when we start getting to the responsive stuff starting tomorrow, I'll show you guys why that's a huge help. But if you guys use that in your design platforms of choice, you're very familiar with that. We also have things that we're familiar with, the width and the height of that asset. We have the margin, all the things that we're very familiar with when it comes to designing in our platforms. Now, for example, since this is an SVG, there is a style or a design panel inside of this inspector. We can change the color of this SVG. I'm going to make it pink. You guys can see that there. And also, please let me know if you guys are like Brandon, because we're trying to figure this out, right? This is the first of many. I would love to know where you guys are in your competency with editorX. Put 1 in the chat if you are a beginner. Put 2 in the chat if you guys are, this is not your first rodeo. Let me know about that. Because this is good information, because the next time around in next month, we'll be able to have challenges that are actually up to par with what you guys are wanting from these challenges. That's good data for us, and it only makes you guys better designers. So basically what I'm saying is that going back to what we have here is, I want to move my menu here. We don't need that. I'm actually going to delete this. Actually, no, we do need that because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. May says, still waiting for my dark theme of editorX. Nah, man, you gotta make it dark theme yourself. Julius says beginner. All right. So we're going over good stuff. All right. So we also have interactions, which we'll go over later. Again, in the later in this week. We'll talk about animations a little bit today, but content, we're not going to worry about these two. So what I want you guys to worry about so far is this week we're going to use layers, and we're going to use our layout and design tabs in our inspector. That's all you guys need to know. Okay. So with that said, what we're going to do for the rest of the time is we're going to talk about menus and pages, and then we're going to talk about sections, containers, and really just assets within sections, basically the parents and things like that. And Kita says 1, Vuyo says 1. All right, so we're all newbies here. Great. All right, we're doing good. I'm glad. And also just a reminder, if you guys are enjoying this or want to enjoy this or are excited about this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps tremendously. All right, so let's talk about menus. And if you want clarification, please let me know about anything. So what I love about the menu is that it really just, editorX does all of the work for us. And what I mean by that is this. So on top of our layers panel over here, we also have our pages panel right here. So far we already have a home page, and our menu here already understands there's one page, we're gonna put it here in our menu. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and click on Manage Menu. And so we see this. Which menu is displayed? We have New Menu, and we can make multiple menus, but we're going to stick with New Menu. And I'm going to create a couple pages here. So I'm going to create a new link from a site page, and I'm going to scoot this over here actually so you can see what's going on. It's a new site page. Actually, we're going to do one thing first. We're going to make multiple pages first. So I'm going to go over to my pages section right here. I'm going to click plus, and let's see. I'm going to name this after you guys. We're going to do, hold on. Why is there all those Z's? What happened there? We're going to do Kimberly. We're going to have, who else? Bagel. And we are going to do Lorraine. And we'll just start with that. So what I have is I have all these pages. Now I can go back to my menu. I can click Manage Menu, and I'm going to add new items. And what it does is I'm going to tell it to look at my site pages right here. And now all of the pages that I've made in this section here in my site pages, they now populate here where they didn't before. So all I have to do is I can just select all pages, hit apply, and boom, we have all of them there. It tells us which page we're on. We're on page Lorraine right now. We're going to go back to home. And we have all of these things. Like, the menu is so simple. And by the way, one thing I absolutely love, I'm just going to show this now. When we go to mobile, and do not disregard what happens here. I just want to show you guys, because we haven't made the site or what we have here responsive. I just want to show you guys what happens to the menu. Okay? The menu automatically becomes a hamburger, or the 3 lines, whatever you would like to call it. And it automatically produces the menu that we've just created inside of the, basically the mobile menu. So I love that. It saves a lot of time. And you know, things just should be easier as designers. We should just get into creating the aesthetic that we want, and everything else just be taken care of. All right, so that's kind of it for menu. And just like we talked about here for our SVG, we can also edit the color and the text of our, basically of our menu. We can change what it looks like when it's regular, when it's hovered, when it's clicked, and so on and so forth. Just think about it like your design tools. You click on an asset, those assets or those elements have attributes that you can edit in the inspector tab here. You can edit the layout, you can edit the design, and you can also edit the interactions. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Lorraine says, have tried building and using, but got frustrated with it, so I gave up. Ready to dive back in. Really want to understand when to use sections and containers. All right, Lorraine, well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. So hear me out. So this is actually one of the things that people get, and even when I popped open, right, I was just like, how does this stuff work? So hierarchy is key when it comes to editorX. So let's start working in the section that we have here. So I'm going to close this up. So we have our section, and this is how easy. And by the way, shout out to Matanya, who is an amazing guy on the editorX team who kind of, you know, helped me out in my time of need. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to kind of fast track this, but I think it will help, and let me know if it does. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a little bit of a hierarchy here, and I kind of want a double-sided section. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click here. Actually, first things first, I'm going to click my section, and I'm going to apply a grid. Now, there is no right or wrong. There's multiple ways of doing this. but this is how I like it. And I've seen, once I saw this, I was like, oh my God, why am I not doing this? So I'm going to, and by the way, just to kind of slow that down a little bit, I'm going to select my section, and we get these options here. And I know there's a whole bunch of other things. We'll talk about them later, but to talk about hierarchy, let's start there. I'm going to go to apply grid, and we have all these layouts that we can use. I'm just going to do a 2x1. And so what this does is it gives me a left and a right of my section here. And what I can start to do here is, let's say maybe I want to do a half and half of, my left side an image and my right side text, a title, description, and a button. So what we're going to do here is I am going to right click on my container. I'm going to do a quick add, and I'm going to do honestly, you can add a container or an image, but I'm going to do this a little quick. It might bite me in my butt, but I'm going to do an image, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this image, I'm going to pull it on the left side of my container here, or on my of my grid, and I'm just going to expand it. Okay, so I wanted to take the full width of that section, or that half. And by the way, I do want to make this section a little bit larger. So I'm going to click my section, go to my inspector, layout, and I'm going to just make this, I'll do it 100 VH for right now, which basically makes the section as long as any viewport. VH stands for viewport height, or if you guys just want something that's a little bit more, we could just do 100 pixels, but I typically use 100 VH. So what I can do here is, for the left side, I want to add in a title, paragraph, and a button. And by the way, I'm kind of doing a shortcut, but you can find all of these things and so much more in this plus quick add section, or add elements section. You can very easily drag a title. You can very easily drag a paragraph. You can very easily drag a button. The button is always late to the party, kind of like me. It has to do things in the background, but it's coming. Galleries, there's so much things here, and so many things that save time. We can spend literally a whole day talking about what's in here in terms of, already made compositions with animations and things of that nature, from like a welcome page, about, services. This is a lot of the things that, just make your life easy as a designer. But again, just keeping things basics, fundamentals. Let's start working on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line everything just like this. I'm going to make my text, or my title, just a little bit bigger. We'll rock with 35 pixels. And we might rock with 45 or 50. We'll pull this up, and everything will come together in short time, guys. So I'm going to pull this in just about here. I'm going to make this button a little bit larger. Change text. I could say we'll just do sign up. Have no idea what they're signing up for, but I'm going to select all of these assets. So I'm going to hold shift, click, click, click. And what I can do is I can stack this. This is very similar to any of your platforms, your design platforms. These things now can be interchanged with each other, and you don't have to move things in an awkward, it just saves time, guys. If you guys are familiar with other design platforms, stacking just helps you very easily make sure that your assets that are stacked have very evenly distributed margins. And we'll go over that another time. We're running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to Control Z everything very quickly back to our original stack, and we'll go back to the basics of what I want you guys to understand. So another thing is we have these blue things here. They're called breadcrumbs. You guys are probably familiar if you guys are working with sites. And so when I've stacked this, we have three elements in here. We have the title, we have the paragraph, and we have the button. And so each element that I select, if I hover over that blue, you'll see that there's other things. We have this is essentially showing us how these things are nested. We have our text and we have our stack. Our stack is this entire thing that we have here. And so what we want to do here is, I'm just going to do it simple. I'm just going to put this in dead center of our little grid here. So if we remember, we split the container, or rather our section, into two parts, our photo and our our left and our right. Photo is on the left. We have our text in the right. And so what we're going to do here is I'm very quickly just going to make this all responsive. Okay. What we're going to do here is we are going to, first off, we're going to make sure that this is docked in the center. I always want this to be in the center of this right side of our section. So a lot of Lorraine, if I remember, you were probably, when you got here, you're probably, what in the world is going on? This is not what I wanted. This is not responsive. So here's the cool thing. You can, obviously, you can push and pull. Look, you can change what your stack is looking like. You can push and pull here, whatever, but we don't want that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to mess with that. We literally just want the photo first and the text second. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on my section. I'm going to make sure I have my section selected. I'm going to click change grid layout. And so we had the 2x1. Now we want the 1x2, and this is going to flip it for us. So now we have the photo on top and we have our text on bottom. And here's where we can start editing some things. We're going to center, make sure that this is centered. We can pull this out just a little bit more. We can center the text if we wanted to. We can center this piece, edit text. I'm just selecting the asset that I want to edit. Oops. Boom. Center that. I'm going to make sure I select my stack. I want to make sure that this is centered within the bottom part of our section here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this section a lot larger. You see everything kind of got squished. That's because our minimum height is 400. So I'm actually going to make this, we'll make it 800. Let's actually, and you know what, another thing, you don't have to mess with the numbers. You literally can just grab the section and just pull it down. So that's how I've been doing it, because I don't want to mess with the numbers. I'm just like, can I make this longer? Thanks. So that's essentially how I've been doing, or at least I hope that helps with, you know, how you make things go from desktop a little bit down to tablet, how you can rearrange those sections using grids. And it kind of also helped with the mobile here. And we can change some things up. And by the way, once you've changed something on a lower breakpoint, it does not cascade up. So if I make changes to my mobile here, so I'm going to select this, I'm going to go to my stack, and I'm just going to widen this up to make more space for all of my text here. Boom. Center that puppy. There we go. And let's say for whatever reason, I don't want this image to be, full. I actually want it to be like, in the center. I have no idea why, but let's just make that odd change. And if we go back up, it does not change the tablet and it does not change the desktop. So I'm just going to close all of this really quick, and this is our tablet, this is our mobile. Now these are the fundamentals, guys. These are things that we are going to stack upon each other, these skills, each and every day. So we're starting off very small tomorrow, and we're going to start picking up more and more skill sets as we go. But I want you guys to understand main thing here, and you guys can find other amazing videos on editorX to really just explain the hierarchy. But we would love to know a little bit more from you guys in our Discord or here. What specific things really are challenging for you guys, because that's going to help us make better content for you guys, and it's going to help you make some beautiful things. So Lorraine says, makes sense to just change the grid. See, there you go. Like, that was mind-blowing to me, just to change the grid rather than messing with all the other containers. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you guys to get out of today is, one, just understanding the like 3-4 things. One, hierarchy, sections, containers, and then the small little assets that go inside. Those things can be stacked. On top of that, I want you guys to understand, going back to my screen here, actually, let's stick with the screen so I can show you guys the particular takeaways that I want you guys to get in preparation for tomorrow. Okay? Understanding, no different than any other design platform. We have our layers. We get to see what is in where. Our section is our biggest parent. Our stack is within our section, but our section is made up of two different, we have a grid on it. So sections, containers go in sections, and every other small asset go inside containers. So kind of think of it like that: sections, containers, assets. Or you can just go from sections with a grid that has assets in it. And the other thing, the inspectors. Everything and all your assets will be edited in your containers, your sections. All that will be edited in your inspector. You have your layout part of the inspector and your design part of the inspector. This is where we edit all of the different colors, the sizes, etc. of all the assets that we have on our page. Okay, we'll go into more of the responsive, especially when we start squeezing websites and how we want things to morph and percentages and all that later in the week. Okay, today was basics. All we want you guys to do is get inside editorX, get your feet wet a little bit, and come ready for the real seriousness tomorrow and to join our Discord. Okay, so with that said, join our Discord. We would love to know what you liked about today, what you would rather be, what would be more beneficial in the next welcome. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you guys in our Discord so we can actually have conversations about what happened today and continue to further answer your questions there. So I just want to thank you, Alicia, Lauren, Ruben. We had Mobile Media, was good. Kimberly, World of editorX. I thought it said World of Warcraft. I love that game. Vuyo and Kita, Julius, May, Brian, Edu, Maria. I really appreciate you guys coming out today. And don't forget, editorX link is down below. You can also sign up for editorX down below. And I will see you guys in our Discord. I'll read one more thing. And Alicia says, for me, the most difficult part is different measurements. That is great. I'll definitely make sure that there is a section in our Discord where you guys can give feedback and the different challenges that you guys have so we can make better content with you and answer or create challenges with those particular, with those things in mind so you guys can overcome those things. So I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. If you haven't already, join our Discord, sign up for the next 2 weeks of challenges. And your boy, Brandon Groce, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you. Peace.
Dope responsive websites like this and even this for you and your clients within just minutes. First off, you can achieve all of this and much more in the powerful no-code platform, editorX. On these dates, I will be hosting live daily creative challenges on YouTube to teach you the fundamentals of editorX and how to create the exact responsive websites you see here, all the way from start to publishing the website. If this sounds of interest to you and you want to improve your editorX skills, join me live each and every month to get inspired by what amazing things we will create together during our creative challenges, as well as get your questions answered live while we work together. Click the link below to sign up and get notified when the challenges begin, and I will see you in our Discord. See you then.